This is to show you guys how to use Repl.it. And as much as we can in this class, as much as we can do programming, I think this is a good tool for us to use. It's a IDE, integrated development environment, and it allows us to do unit tests, and it allows me as your instructor to be able to quickly correct them, but it'll also allow you to make sure that there are no errors, any bugs in this part of your assignments or quizzes before you submit them. So kind of a win-win. What we'll do is there'll be more on this page later, but this is a little sample problem that I set up. I'm going to open it in incognito window just because I want to be able to type in as someone else. I'm already logged in another browser's admin, so I want to be not an admin. So I have a second account. Username is Kenny Hotmail. You guys will sign in with the account that I set you up with, your SVU account. Remember my password. This should get me logged in. And we're logging in slowly but surely. It could be that this camera is slowing it down a little bit. I can pause it for a sec. Okay. You can confirm. I hate getting little messages, so I don't let any website enable notifications. I'm going to hit cancel. So the default layout for your system is, or when you log in, is white. Some of you might like the darker background. I'll just leave it like this since that's what you guys will see when you first log in. So in this particular instance, we are going to be putting in the formal definition for a DFA. Let's read through the instructions. You're to translate the DFA diagram in the image diagram PNG. So let's click over here, diagram PNG. So here's our DFA, and here's our transition table, and here is the language that it will contain, and the strings that it will accept are any string containing 3 ones. So let's go back to our instructions here. By modifying, you're to translate the DFA diagram in the image, diagram.png, to its formal definition, including the transition function, by modifying the inputs to the student machine in the getStudentMachine function of the student machine py.py file. So this is this one. And I even put in little markers here, modify between here and here. So this is, I didn't want you to have to write it from scratch. So, and a lot of your career will be copy, paste, and modify. So I already have this in here kind of just as a starting point. But let's go back to the README. Run the unit tests until there are no failures. And in order to do this, first we'll click on the shell tab to the right. So right over here we have shell, and then run Python m unit test.py, and I'll copy and I will paste and I will hit enter. And right now it's failing because this machine that's defined here does not match this diagram. And so the tests that are being run, if I click, you can click on test.py if you want. These are strings that are accepted, and these ones are strings that should be rejected. And we can see that the existing machine, that's just your template, it's already getting choked out at line 13. So this 001101 should be true because it is 3 ones in this string, but the machine as currently defined does not accept it. So that's why we need to change this. So how do we do that? We'll take a look at the diagram. Well, first we want to know, we're going to set the states. So let's look at the diagram and see what states we have. We have Q0, or Q0, some people will call it, Q1, Q2, and Q3. So we have 4 states, Q0 through Q3. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have Q0, good, Q1, good, Q2, good, but remember, we also have this Q3. So what we'll do, this is a set. Sets are separated by commas. Because we're actually working now in an implementation, like this is Python, strings need to be between quotes. So I'm going to put quotes and then Q3, that is our state. So let's see, is that all we need? And everything will run fine. So here's a little trick that you might not know, probably know, but in shell, if you hit the up key, up arrow key, it will get the last thing that you typed in. So it's a little shortcut. I hit enter. Nope, it's still failing. That's not much of a surprise. Okay, let's go back. Next, we want to set the alphabet. Well, all we see are 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So our alphabet consists of 0 and 1, and that's good. We're done there. Next is the transition function. And to help you out, I've already put the transition function right here, but just to remind ourselves what this means, I start here on row 1. We'll call this row 0. This is our header. I start in Q0. This is the state I start with. And if I receive a 0, where do I go? If I receive a 0, I go back to Q0. So that's why that's Q0. If I receive a 1, where do I go? Okay, if I receive a 1, I go to Q1. So that's why Q0, Q0, Q1. Why this line is like that. It's telling us where to go. Next, we're in the Q1 state. We're in Q1. If we receive a 0, where do we go? Well, we go right back to Q1. And that's accurate. Here's a 0, Q1. Now we're Q1. Where do we go if we receive a 1? We go on to the next state, Q2. So there we go, Q2. We're in Q2. We receive a 0. We stay in Q2. Yep. Q2, we receive a 1. We go to Q3. Yep. And then once we're in Q3, whether we receive a 0 or 1, we're going to stay here forever. So there we go, 3, 3, 3. All right, let's go back to our machine and make sure that matches. We have to put this none in there. This represents this little dead cell right there, this null cell. Has to be there or everything breaks. So make sure it's there. And this, of course, this first line is our header. This is the 0 column and the 1 column. All right, so if this is our header, then this is our first real line. We're starting with Q0, and where did we say we went? We go Q0, Q0, Q1. Let's take a look here. Q0, Q0, Q1. Oh, all right, it's already done for us. All right, next one. From Q1, we go to Q1, Q2. So Q1, Q1, Q2. Let's take a look. Q1, Q2. Oh, all right, we need to change it. So it was Q1, Q1, Q2, right? Let's double check. Q1, Q1, Q2, and Q1, Q1, Q2. Great. Next, Q2 is Q2, Q2, Q3. Let's go back here. Q2, so it was Q2, Q2, Q3. Let's go Q2 and Q3. All right. Are we done? Well, let's try it again. See how far no, we're still failing. Well, yeah, of course, because we have to put this Q3, Q3, Q3. So what are we going to do? We ran out. Well, never fear. Copy this line. Copy. Add a new line. Oh, why doesn't, there's no paste. Okay, I'm hitting Control V to paste. And what was it again? It was just Q3s all the way. So this last line, we're going to make Q3, Q3, Q3. Whoops, did it change? There we go. That's a little slow. Q3, Q3, Q3. Should work, right? Right? Let's give it a shot. We're running out of space here. I'm going to hit clear and do it again. Still failing. What happened? Oh, we didn't finish. We went through states, alphabet, transition function, start state. Well, let's take a look. What is our start state? Arrow from nowhere points to Q0. So Q0 is our start state. Yep, right there. That looks good. Must be with the accept state, right? What is our accept state? Accept state. There, or states, right? Because it can be it's a set of states. But in this case, we only have one with the double circle, and that's Q3. So that is the set of our accept states is Q3. And right here, oh, it's Q1. No, no, no. Q3. Now let's give this a shot. Clear. And hit return. Oh, look at that. Ran one test. Okay. We passed. Now let's say we had just messed up one of these. And let's see if this will catch our error. Yep, see, caught our error. It was line 26. Let's go to the tests. Yeah, look, we passed all these tests up till this line, and then it finally gave out on us. So we were close, but no cigar. Let's hit Control Z and try it again to make sure we're good. Okay. All right, so now you know that it's passing, and so when you submit it, you know that you got an A++ on this particular question. So with all confidence, you can hit submit. Oh, by the way, before I do that, in case any of you want to pull a Kobayashi Maru from Star Trek and try to reprogram the test to make your thing fail instead of doing the right thing, I have this set of tests in my own, and I will be running these against your code. So don't try to be sneaky. Anyway, all right. We'll hit submit. Submit this REPL. This will submit your REPL for review and notify the team's admins. That's me. All right, so click submit, and then I'll know you did your work. And that's how we will be using Repl.it, at least for this particular question. As we go on throughout the semester, I'll try to put other videos to help you for whatever else we set up for you to work on.